God. I took my horse to a horse show this weekend, and
He was
honestly
amazing.
was a little scared, but he was amazing. He's a baby horse, so he jumped around for the first time. And Kelly shot a docu-series at WEC, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be incredible when it is ready. We talk all about it in this episode.
Yeah, we're excited to talk about it too. And Ivan's incredible, and the docu-series is hopefully going to be as incredible as Ivan.
Will be.
Well, we're excited. But make sure that you guys sign up for our newsletter. This episode, we're going to be talking and representing our Cowgirl Up with Green. So
amazing.
This is a great company, guys. So we wear equestrian wear all of the time. And this is a company that I can stand behind, and we both really love and enjoy. And if you sign up for our newsletter, we're going to be sending out this week for this episode our affiliate code, which gets you 5% off. So you guys make sure you sign up for the newsletter and check it out.
Okay, so you just came back from Ocala. Tell me everything about it.
Yes.
And obviously our viewers want to know.
Yeah. So crazy story. We shot a docuseries. So we had been planning this since December. So we were waiting to get approval from WEC. And it finally happened about 3 weeks ago. And so we just decided,
You just went.
Yeah.
You got in the car.
And the Winter Series ended this weekend. So we had 1 week left to get this done.
Yeah.
And I also had to work that weekend. So we had to go during the week. So it was like this whole thing. But it was all good. We followed 3 different equestrians, 3 different riders, 200 riders, and 1 professional. I don't want to give too much information away because I want to keep it a surprise. But
okay, but when is it coming out?
Oh, Lord, when is it coming out? So
yeah, let's get this editing done.
I know.
People want to see.
I know. So I don't have a concrete date. I would like to say in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
So
it's probably a lot of video.
It's a lot of content that we have to sift through and go through and do all the things. But it was just amazing. I mean, I had been at that facility when there wasn't a lot going on. I went in August, so there wasn't a lot of activity.
Yeah.
So being there during the Winter Series, it really was it was just
dream come true.
It was a dream come true, and it was just very busy, there was just so much going on. We had to rent a golf cart.
Is it that big?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's huge.
Okay.
So, we drove down on a Wednesday, left at 7 a.m. and got there around 1:30, and shot with the subjects for a little bit. And we were all really exhausted, and we went and had Mexican at one of the restaurants on property, and I had 1 tall boy Corona.
Oh Lord.
And so I was exhausted, and then also feeling the tall boy, and I went to go return the golf cart.
Okay, just so you know, we do not condone drinking and driving.
Yeah, well, so I went to go return the golf cart, and I slammed my head.
Oh, getting in it?
Getting in it. Because I had my hat on. So,
your spatial awareness.
Yeah, spatial awareness is not there.
Yeah.
So I slammed my head into the golf cart, and it hurt so bad. And it was one of those things where you just your eyes just start welling with water.
Oh, no. Is it that bad?
But yeah, but it's not like I was even upset or it just hurt that bad. And so I get back to the car, and I call Colleen, feel my head, and there's a massive welt. Massive welt on my head. She was like, oh my God. She's like, we need to put ice on it. But then I heard that if you put ice on it, it can cause a blood clot or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
Get off the Google.
Yeah, whatever. So that was our initial first day. And I was like, this is going to be a long trip. I was but then we woke up, we were up at 5:30. Got to the horse show by 6.
Were you trying to get content of people showing that first classes? And
well,
stuff,
no, it wasn't even first. I don't even think the show started until 8.
No, yeah, I just didn't know if you were there
that early because everybody wanted to hack before. So everybody hacks in the rings before.
Okay.
So the rings will close for you can't jump, but you can hack.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get everybody hacking and just everybody's preparation and how they're feeling, how their horses are feeling, what their routines are, all of those types of things. Like, so that's what we wanted to capture and document. And so yeah, I mean, and it's just like everybody's up that early. It's just,
Yeah, it's you got to feed the horses. You got to
yeah, I mean,
get out
it's
there.
wild. Um, so yeah, so that was like a pretty, it was a crazy experience. I mean, it really was. The days were super long. It felt like we were there for like 3 weeks because the days were just
I mean, you're
so
getting up
packed.
at 5 and then it's beautiful all day. The sun stays out.
Yeah.
It's warm.
Yeah.
You can stay out late.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, it just was wild. And it was during the League of Nations as well. So it was like overly busy.
yeah.
So, and a cool thing on my birthday night. So my birthday was Thursday. We went and had dinner at Stirrups in the Equestrian Hotel. Like, you know, it's a restaurant there. And while we're eating, like the Grand Prix is going on. And
Oh
like,
my God.
it
I
was,
saw your video. Like she sent me
Yeah.
some Snapchats and some video of it. And
Yeah, it
you
was-
guys, like the content is going to be amazing. But
yeah, it was very
just
cool.
best way to spend your birthday if you're a horse girl.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was, yeah, it was incredible. So I'm just really excited for the whole process. And we're going to be doing this, shooting these docuseries throughout the 2025 horse show season. So it's going to be great.
What locations have you scouted out for your
Yeah,
docuseries?
I mean,
Obviously, WEC was a huge one.
WEC
You
was
got
a
to do it.
yeah, WEC was a huge one, and you know the horse show facilities are so great because it's all everybody's in the same location,
Yeah.
right? Like that's why it works so well. And you know WEC obviously like it was during the winter, it's like crappy weather.
Oh, you just want to get out of home.
Yeah, and so everybody's there, and so it worked out really well. Obviously, we would have loved to have shot the whole season. That
Yeah.
didn't happen. We're just thankful we got to do what we got to do, and so yeah. I mean, we just like. Honestly, I'd love y'all's suggestions. Like we've looked at Devon.
Gotta go to Devon.
You know, even like thinking about like thermal in California,
Yeah.
like, you know, going to do Harrisburg, like going to do Upperville, going
Only
to
Michigan.
do, huh?
Gotta go to Michigan.
Yeah, like I would,
Kentucky.
yeah, Kentucky, like any places that you guys like have suggestions on, like I would love to, I'd love to,
And do
you
we
know, hear
still
it.
need some adult amateurs for?
Yeah.
Are we following? Is the docuseries going to follow the same 3 kind
No,
of subjects? Or are you looking
mm-mm.
for different people?
We're going to be looking for different subjects. So we definitely want to tell as many stories as we can.
Yeah.
That's really the passion. And we have mixed up between amateurs and professionals
Okay.
because I do believe that there's great stories in everybody and every
Yeah.
horse person. So we haven't, you know, because I know you and I talked about it, like I was going to do just adult amateurs.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, you know, I feel like professionals have a very different perspective as
Yeah.
well.
And there's content lost there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's great, like, I feel like adults are such an amazing group of people, but
Yeah.
then the professionals are what gets the adults to the ring and like
100%.
keeps us doing it, and we need them. And so
Yeah.
getting their input is amazing. And I love to know what different professionals
Oh
do.
yeah, absolutely. And everybody has their own unique process and like what they do and everything. And
Yeah.
so, you know, you'll get to see all of that through this docuseries, and it's exciting. I'm excited about it. It was an idea that came to light,
It's like a
and
passion project
passion
that's going to
project.
be super successful.
yeah, I hope so. You know, that's the hope. I mean,
It's like Road to Maclay meets 2025.
yeah, well, I just felt like there's like a really big gap in not only just I mean, there's no gap in content, right? There's so
No,
much
yeah.
content
Yeah.
out there, but I just felt like there was a gap in storytelling,
Yeah.
and there wasn't a lot of light being shined, whatever, on you know these people's stories.
Yeah.
And I interviewed a lot of really great people for the series, and you know it's really hard to pick people, and it's nothing personal, obviously, like
No,
you know
there's so many people.
there's so many people that have great stories, and you know but I just felt like these 3 just really resonated with me, and as you know like every producer or casting director or whatever, like they feel the same, and like yeah, I just felt like these people's stories really needed to be told, and I just think that the sport just doesn't get enough of like the behind the scenes.
Yeah, the real world of it. Like, I feel like the equestrian world is so like TikTok and look at my Instagram and like, this is me jumping, you know, a 4-foot oxer.
Right.
And this is me in the Grand Prix. And this is me at junior hunter finals.
Yeah.
And I feel like it lacks like how you got there, like what you're saying, the story. And like, yeah, this is my beautiful picture of me jumping, you know, the 3-6 and this amazing jump with all this beautiful fill. But like here, you didn't get to see my trip where I ate face to one of the jumps before.
Right. And, you know, that's the thing. And just obviously the conversations that we either have, you know, privately or on this podcast, like, just the journey that it takes for each individual like horse and rider to get to where they are is massive.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the piece that is lost for me. Like, I want to know that journey. Like, I want to feel like I can
connected
relate.
to these people.
Yeah. Like, I can relate because you look at these people even that are competing at the top level, whether it's hunter jumpers, whatever, you know, like, they've had it's not like they just like woke up and they were just that.
Yeah.
You know, like all of the work, all of the dedication. And I just feel like, you know, those like you can just appreciate it and just like respect them so much more. And I do feel like they're like, again, like that's what's really lost for me is like the stories and like how these people got there. And like, you know, I mean, because everybody has like such a unique story, and not only just the story of the riders, but these horses too. Like they've come from all like across the world. You know, maybe they have suffered lameness or illness, or you know, move from trainer to trainer, like whatever it is. You know, like they all have different stories. So I think that's really a big part of it too. So
I can't wait to watch. I'm honestly super sad I couldn't be there, but it sounds like with a baby, it would have been pretty hard.
It would have been way too. I mean, you would have just been like by yourself the whole time.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been, I would have felt bad. And, you know, it wouldn't have worked out.
But I'm like so excited to watch it. I'm hoping that I get to see some sneak peeks, guys.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I know. And I really want to talk about really fast.
Oh gosh, what?
I want to talk about, because this happened to us like over the weekend, or I was at WEC and you were here.
Yeah.
But we got recognized.
Oh my God. I did not get recognized, you guys.
She did. And somebody like said they came up to you about the podcast, right?
Well, yeah. And that they were my Instagram follower, which just to be clear, guys, like, let's be real. I have like,
it doesn't matter.
Like, I don't even know. Not very many.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
A very few followers, but they were like, oh my God, I follow you on Instagram and I know you just had a baby and like, you look amazing. I'm so proud of you. Like you're out here doing the thing. And I was at a horse show and it was, you know, a really small show, taking my horse who's very young. He's 4 and never jumped before at a horse show. So we were taking him just to get his little feet wet in a low stress, low key environment. And yeah, someone came up to me and they were like, you look amazing. And so I am very appreciative that you guys are out there. If you see me in public, please come up to me because it made my day.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
So lit.
I called her and I was like, oh my God. Like, because, you know, you have a baby, and for all my mamas out there who are like trying to ride and have a baby and do all the things, like it is hard. And there are things about my body that I'm like, okay, this is different. You know, my show pants definitely don't fit the same way that they used to. Definitely had to phone a friend and be like, hey, do you have like some pants I could borrow? But it is amazing the support that you get being in this sport and then being a new mom and just, yeah. If you guys have experience, if you guys see me anywhere, please come out and talk to me because I would love to know all about you and I would love to, you know. I
mean, that's really like why we did this, you know, like that's why we started this show and like why.
I just want to talk to real people and let everybody know that like the horse sport is so variable, you know, there's like the top of the top and then there's everyone else in between. And like, we're all doing this sport because we love it. And you know, we're like, all a community.
Yeah. And we want to make it approachable. And I think that's the thing that like, so somebody, I was saying that somebody recognized me at WEC too. And it was like, it was a girl that, you know, she came up to me. We were like, y'all, I felt so bad. If you were Maddie, if you were listening to this, like, please know that I apologize because like we were
so
like
busy.
This was like, I had just sent a snap out to like my private snap, like small snap group. And I was like, thankful for this experience, dead ass tired, ready to go home. And I was just like, just so tired. And like, we were waiting for, I think, our last subject to go into the ring.
She also had head trauma at this point.
Yeah, I also was like concussed probably. And so like we were standing at the stadium and this girl Maddie like walks up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, are you Kelly?" And like, you know, I'm like, like
You're
I am
"What?
like,
Who?
I'm
Where?"
like, I'm like, "Where's Josh? Where's Colleen? Where's this? Where's this?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, hi!" And like trying to talk to her, and she's like so sweet and talking to me, and I'm just like, I probably was like glazed over in the face, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Like, and like people are trying to talk to me, and like Josh is asking me questions, and she's like, "Okay, like I'm so sorry, I just want to say hi and like
Aw.
let you go," and I was like, "No, I want to talk to you, but like let's get coffee or something."
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
you know, like. So like that's the whole reason we wanted to do this. Like
Yeah.
be approachable, make this sport approachable because it is intimidating. There's a lot of like insecurities and emotion around it. And like we're all just out there trying to have a good time and like stay on and not die.
Yeah.
Right. So and like I think that is like the beauty of the internet and the beauty of social media and like I just feel like that is just a big part of this that like connects everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just wanted to bring that up and I just felt like I mean it's just like such
It's
a cool
it's heartwarming. Like
Yeah.
it's not, and I didn't take it as like, oh, like someone recognized me. Like it has nothing to do with me. It was, oh my God, like
I relate to you.
I relate to you, and we're starting like this is a community, and we're
Yeah.
building this community, and I don't care who you are and how, in what aspect of the equestrian world that you're in, like we are all doing this ultimately like bare bones, deep roots because we love the animals.
Yeah,
like we are doing this for the
100%.
animals no matter what discipline. And I'm doing it like I have like my best friends that I've ever made are horse people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my friends that have become family are horse people.
Yeah.
It's just like building this community. And sometimes I feel like it can get a little lost in social media, like more on the negative side where
For
you're
sure.
just seeing, you know, the best and the best, and you're not really seeing like the community that it could be.
Right.
And so,
And that's what we're here to do.
yeah, we want you guys to be our community and tell us things and just keep it real. Like, we are as real as it can get, you know?
And that's what I was saying to you when I got back from WEC, like, you know, it's so interesting because everyone's like, I think even like saying like, oh, I'm going to WEC or like, oh, I'm going to do this is like, you're like, oh, like, you know.
Yeah, you're like intimidated immediately.
Yeah, you're like, oh, well, this girl must be somebody. And you're like, well, no, like, it's just like, I could have been saving all year to be able to do
to go
this.
one time.
To go one time
Yeah.
or like take my horse down there. So like there's like a lot of like stigma around it, whatever. But like the thing that I really noticed when I was down there and like really was in it and like really was like with my people that like we were basically like I felt like a part of their team and like horse showing with them. I'm like, what do you need? Like I'll grab your earplugs or like whatever. And I'm like, you know, no matter where you are, if you're at Devon, if you're at WEC, if you're at Upperville, like doesn't matter. Like it's all the same. You're all doing the same things. Like you're nervous about the same stuff. You gripe about the same things. Oh, the footing, or like, oh, the jumps are too big, or they're too wide, or oh, this girl cut me off, or like whatever it is, you know, like
the issues are still the same.
The issues are the literal same. So whether you are showing at Rolling Hills here at Wills Park or you are showing at WEC, it's all the same. Like you're just dealing with like a different, you know,
they're
like
all animals.
Yeah.
You're
like
creating a partnership with your horse.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to survive.
And I think that was like a really big light bulb moment for me because I was like, damn, like this is all like the same shit. Like, it's the same shit.
Just a different place.
Yeah. Like when I walked up to my subject in the morning and she's hacking and she's like, these jumps are huge. And I'm like, girl, I get you. Like I get you because I'm like, damn, they are kind of big. So, you know, like it's just like we all deal with these same like emotions. And so that like gave me some kind of peace or like I don't even know, just like it put everything on kind of on the same level or playing field. Yeah. And I just feel like there's always this, you know, obviously in the sport there's a lot of money involved. So I think, you know, Same thing if you're like like if you're going to the masters or if you're, just playing at your local course, like it's all like, I understand that there's like, different money,
levels.
different levels, different money involved, but it's all the same. Like it's all the same stuff. And so I just like think that's important for everybody just to kind of remind themselves of that. So don't like dog yourself or feel like you're lesser or you're not as worthy or that you're not like good enough or like whatever the emotions are that you're dealing with. Like just know that it's all the same. And like it's no one is better or worse than anyone else. Like I just think
that's a huge message.
Yeah, I just think that it's like, and that just really hit home. So I hope that comes through in the docuseries. And I'm learning how to produce these types of things, so hopefully it'll get better. But if the message is a little lost,
she's telling you now.
I'm telling you now. Yeah, I'm telling you what the message is. But yeah, I mean, this is a hard sport. Like it's mentally hard, it's physically hard. You're not only working with yourself, but you're working with another teammate, a massive animal that can't communicate. Or they can, but just not in
the way we sometimes want them to.
Right, exactly. So. Anyways, so moving on from that subject, I feel like I'm off my soapbox, but I want to talk about Ivan and the horse show.
Oh gosh. Okay. So for those of you who don't know,
let's start. What? No, I just want to start at Ivan's beginning. Like, let's talk about him.
So we talked a little bit about buying horses like in one of our previous episodes, but Kelly went to go buy a horse. Like, long story short, Kelly went to go buy a horse. I went with her. I had a horse already. I had 2 and I didn't need any more, but they were like, hey, we also have this 2-year-old. Do you want to sit on it? And Kelly was like, I mean, whatever, sure. And he was a stunning little nugget. And I was like,
he wasn't little.
No. Well,
no,
he was
large for a 2-year-old.
Kind of big, but he was stunning. And I just loved his little attitude and his personality. And he's kind of like, I call him my little dingus because he's just sees butterflies. But anyways, I decided that I wanted to buy him after contemplating for like 6 months, maybe like 4 to 6 months. I was like, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? Definitely didn't need one. Mom, everybody in my life was like, why are you getting another horse? Why are you getting a 2-year-old? Can't even really ride it. Whatever. I got him anyways. So fast forward, I've now had him for 2 years. He is 4 years old, almost 5 in the spring.
In May, right?
Yeah, May 9th.
Yeah.
Just in case you want to throw a birthday party.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Ollie's is April 11th.
Yeah. Well, we can do like a dual
joint party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for their 5 and 6-year-old year.
Yeah. Perfect.
But Ivan we've taken it really, really slow. He's almost 17 hands, I think, up front. He was 16.3 behind and 16.2 up front when I measured him last. And I haven't done that in,
He's huge. He's a dinosaur.
Yeah, he's just a big boy, very gentle, very sweet, but we've done a lot of things very slowly with him because he is so big and he is still growing. But this weekend we took him to kind of a smaller show, a local here in Georgia, and we were going to jump him for the first time. So little baby Ivy went to the horse show. I was so nervous. I did not personally show him. I had my professional show him. Which she's been working with him since he was 2. So, I mean, knows her well. She knows him well. But we really didn't have many expectations for him.
Right. Yeah.
Cause we were like, whatever, like
when you can't, like you can't have expectations for them when they're that little, that young.
No, I mean, he's literally never jumped. I mean, he's jumped probably a handful of times at home, and we're like taking him to a horse show and jump these sticks with flowers and crap all over them and whatever. And he walks into the schooling ring like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a little bit of an airhead. So everything going on outside of the ring, he's like, ooh, a butterfly. And like, ooh, like everything outside of the ring is like super interesting to him.
But he's not spooky. Let's like make that clear.
No.
He's not spooky. He's just distracted.
Curious. He's like curious George. He's got to like look at everything, but literally I can show you video. He's not spooking. He just doesn't have an attention span.
Yeah.
But anyways, he, trots over everything first, and then, like he's trotting in, cantering out, and it got to the point where I was like, okay, like this is silly. Like he literally doesn't care. Never stopped, never looked, never sniffed a jump. He literally and Hannah just starts cantering them all. And I'm like, he's perfect.
Yeah, totally fine.
So he was really good. And then on Saturday we went in and I got up at the crack of dawn, and thankfully my husband watched Baker so I could go to the show and kind of lunge him in the morning and then get him ready for her. And he was so good. He did a warm-up round and cantered in, trotted. No, hello. He did a warm-up round and then trotted in, cantered out. And then the next 2 trips, his first and second hunters, he just went in and cantered everything like a dream. So it's been,
since he's so big, I mean, he could easily do the step, but we're not doing that.
No. And he did get down the lines like a little snug because he does have such a big step, and it would be easy to just land and let him flow out. But I really want to let him kind of balance himself and learn how to kind of rock back and be able to kind of be adjustable. And that's the goal. And really just focusing on him being straight.
Yeah.
You know, he's a baby, he's wiggly. He definitely has a terribly hard right side. So like whenever you're going right, you're like, bye. Like we're just going to.
Yeah.
So that's something we're working on. And so I'm really excited.
You should be.
Didn't know what to expect. Definitely was like, oh my God, you know, what if he does this, that, or the other? And, you know, I don't want Hannah to get mad, or I don't want, you know, my trainer to think he's like bad or whatever. There's a lot of not expectation, but like there's a lot of anxiety that you are so proud of your animal and you want them to show everyone else how proud you are of them and what you know that they can be.
Yeah.
And so it was just amazing to see that, like, okay, like I bought this horse for his brain. I didn't buy him necessarily knowing, I didn't know what his talent would be. He was 2. He didn't do anything when I bought him.
Yeah.
And I think what's crazy is being able to have a horse that I love, and I bought him for his brain, and his brain is just so good. I'm like, okay, like please God, like I don't care if he's talented, but let him go to this horse show and like have a good brain.
Right.
And he did exactly that. And so I got to flat him for both black classes, and he was great. He ended up winning one of them, and just, you know,
killing it.
He's a doll. And I was like, you know, my trainer was like, you're in the fetal position. Like, why are you going around like like you're scared?
You're like, hey man, I'm just like, I'm trying to get by here.
I'm like, this is my first horse show in over a year. Probably.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's huge. I'm in a covered ring. Like, I'm looking at everything outside the ring. He could care less, but here I am.
Yeah. And now let's talk about because I know we talk about horse showing. Let's talk about horse show prep.
Yeah.
So when I took Ollie, like it was weird because like when I took Ollie to the first horse show, his first like where Ivan did he was just like that. He was very calm. I think I started, you know, we started doing total calm.
Yeah.
Like I think a
like
couple days before.
Yeah.
Or week before. I don't remember. And then we I think I gave him half a tube of perfect prep.
Yeah.
And then he was great. And so the first like couple horse shows I did that. And then it wasn't until his 5-year-old year that shit started to get a little spicier.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was always chill.
No.
I mean, I've seen you lunge him and he literally like.
Yeah. He is a sleeper lunger.
Yeah.
You've got to get like a bag. You've got to get like, he will act like there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
And then you get on and you're like, shit. So it was really weird because he went through this phase where he had rain rot really bad. So I think from March to June he was really good, and then of 2024, and then he had 3 months off of showing, and so he went back in I think either late September,
October.
No, we went back in October.
Yeah,
went back in October, and he was terrible. I mean, I followed the same like prep plan. I don't think I did the total calm before, but like I think I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Like, and then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do my I usually half a tube of perfect prep on Friday. Does the trick, and then he's totally fine for the rest of the weekend. Don't do it Saturday. Don't do it Sunday. Bro, he was unrideable Friday.
What did he do?
I don't know.
think I was there, but you told me.
Yeah, he was unrideable. He was like, he'd also like, because he had rain rot and he was on steroids.
Yeah. That's not fair.
But he's like, we thought, I mean, like nobody said, like apparently my horse is just very sensitive to literally anything. He's just sensitive to feed.
Any changes
whatsoever, he gets lit.
Yeah.
So he was just unrideable. I mean, he was like drenched in sweat. He was scooting. He was looking at everything. And Hannah was like, whoa. So we perfect prepped him and went to lunch, came back, rode him again, and he was great. But even like Saturday, Sunday, like I perfect prepped him again. I don't think I've ever done a full tube with him. I've only done half.
Yeah.
But like half tubed him Saturday, half tubed him on Sunday because he was like just lit. And so we were going to be done like for horse showing for that year.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hell no. Like he was terrible.
He's gotta go again.
He's going again. So we went 2 weeks later and he was better, but still kind of lit.
Has he been since?
Yes. Well, he went a couple weeks ago and jumped around.
Yeah.
And he was fine. But it was just like, I don't know if it was a rebellious phase. Like, I'm sure we'll go through it again.
He's like coming into himself. He's testing his limits.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but like you kind of had the opposite experience where like when you first brought Ivan, he was like, oh my God. But now he's like, nah, I've been here. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. So the first time I took him like ever, he was 2.5, I think. And I took him to the horse show just to hang out. And he was... I remember telling Kelly, I was like, I can't do this. This isn't the horse I bought. Like, something's wrong. Like, he is looking at everything, like head in the air, giraffe, looking at everything. He's whinnying at everybody. And I was like,
I remember I was in the hunter ring at Wills Park and I look up and you're in the warm-up ring. This is on a Friday.
just like walking around.
No, but then I think you were lunging him and he was freaking losing it. And I was like, I just was laughing because I was like, oh my God, this is just.
I was like, this isn't what I bought. Like, what I bought, like, literally at home, if you put him on a lunge line, like pussyfoots around.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, okay, he's good. He's like a little Western trot thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? Like, what did I buy? I was like, Kelly, I'm freaking out. I bought this like psycho. He's huge. Like, what am I going to do? So the next horse show I went and we were like actually going to ride him, but just like, hack around,
right.
like nothing legit again, just like showing him around. And I'm lunging him and he does the same thing. He just loses his mind. And then he like buck rears and lands with the lunge line, like in between both front legs. And this guy could like step on anything, doesn't care, whatever, usually. Well, he stepped through it and he was like still just being wild. Well, because it was in between his front legs, he was stronger than me. And he just like kept running instead of going in a circle. He saw an open gate and was like, bye. And I'm like dragging behind him. I'm like, okay, I have to let go. I have to let go. And, he doesn't like run off. He's just trotting off, but he goes out of the ring and then he trots right into the jumper ring with like big flags, like jumper flags, like all around, giant jumps, whatever. Trots right into there. There's another girl riding in there. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like running after him. And he just like trots and stops in the middle of another ring. And I'm like, why would you trot into another ring? Like he doesn't go to the barn. He doesn't go to whatever. So this horse show, I had low expectations for him.
Yeah.
He exceeded them by being so good, but I did have low expectations because I was like, if you guys see a loose horse, it's probably mine, and he's so big, and when he just takes off, he takes off.
Yeah.
But he was great. However, I will say I did do Total Calm and Focus. We started the week before. It's like a powder. You put it into their food.
It's the best shit ever.
Yeah. I put it in his food at home. It didn't really change how he was at home that I could tell because he's pretty chill at home.
Yeah.
But and then before he gets on the trailer, I do put earplugs in. He's kind of sensitive to sound as far as like vehicles behind him or coming up at him. So I did put earplugs in for the ride. And then right before we left, I gave him a quarter tube of Perfect Prep. I don't know why a quarter, but I think it's like all I had left of the tube. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going to give it to him. And like half of it comes out of his mouth. It's like a whole thing. So he got on the trailer beautifully after not going for like a year with his quarter tube. And then I just got him out and lunged him. And yeah, he cantered around and mostly trotted around and then got on and was a doll. The thing about him that I'm starting to learn is that it's not necessarily, his wild is not like I'm going to run or buck you off
Yeah.
or scoot or do any of that stuff. Like his wild is my stride's going to get really big at the canter and I don't want to collect it. And then he's just ADD and you cannot get him to focus.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of like in a warm blood in that way where like when warm bloods are wild, they just kind of act like they can't focus and they just are like a little wiggly and then they just don't want to like, their focus, their A game is not there. And so for him, spinning him just takes out that like, it lets him focus. It just gives him that extra like brain energy. It takes it off and just lets him focus. So definitely a lunge, and he got a lunge every day. I just didn't.
For sure.
Sunday, I tried to give perfect prep, half a tube. Half of it like came out of his mouth again, and then the flat glass.
Doesn't that just like piss you off?
Yeah, it's expensive.
God, that makes me so mad.
It's like $1 billion.
Yeah, it's so expensive, and then they spit it out, and you're like,
oh, it was like on my whole hand, and I'm sticking my hand in his mouth, trying to like wipe it on his cheeks, so he got it all, and I was like,
I know.
And then Sunday, like, you know, I was like, oh, I'll do like the adult hack or something, you know, just to get him in a different ring. He's not going to jump today. He jumped yesterday. He was so good. Again, I don't want to jump his legs off, and was like, I'm just going to do a hack or whatever, and I'll have plenty of time to lunge him and do whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
No, the adult hack they called for it, and I was like, oh, well, I like just gave the tube, half a tube of perfect prep.
Oh God.
Half of it fell out. I lunged him, but I could only lunge for like a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then I just got on cold turkey, and I was like, let's go. And so we just like walked into the ring, and yes, he was ADD as hell.
Yeah.
There were kids running around and like all kinds of stuff. And he was like, oh, like, look at that. Or like he'd see another horse go by and he'd be like, oh, look at that horse. And so it was a lot to like kind of get him in a good
headspace.
Literally a headspace. Like I just wanted his head low enough that like we didn't bomb the hack.
Yeah.
You know, it would like be nice if your head wasn't in the air.
Yeah.
So it took a lot to get his head down in like a neutral position, in which his floaty little trot and canter looked cute.
Yeah.
But other than that, he was great. He didn't try to kill me.
I love it.
He could have. Schooling ring was like packed with people.
Oh yeah.
Big jumpers jumping big jumps, and he was just like, whatever.
I love that. So. I mean, you know, and I'm so bummed I wasn't there. I couldn't be there, but I was just like checking in and making sure like everything was good and like everything worked out well, because it's like, you know, these babies, it's crazy, you know, like I said, like one horse show, everything's good. And then like the next horse show, you're like, well, everything we did last horse show is nothing like we did this time.
Yeah.
So it's it's crazy. But I think that both of the boys, like, they have very level heads. I think that they're, you know, where my thoroughbred, you know, he's 14 years old and he still goes, and he's a cuckoo bird the first day, even with a full tube of perfect prep, you know, like, and we're prepping him.
I'll
like,
never forget
week.
when Sunny went to a horse show and you were trying to lunge him and he like wouldn't lunge. I was like, give me him. I can do it.
Oh my God. I think we've talked about this before. And then like, he like wasn't, I don't know what was going on that day. Like we lunged him, and then like we were hacking in the covered ring, and he like was limping sometimes. Like, I don't know if it was the footing.
The footing's a little, and it's very uneven in there.
Yeah, it was like really uneven in there. And I was like, oh my God, he's limping. Like, oh my God, oh my God. And like our trainer came in and she was like, he's not, like, he's fine. And then we went in the other ring and he was 100% fine. And I was like, okay, like, we're just going to ride down here.
I think the footing in that ring before it got leveled out again. And like,
I
whatever.
know. Yeah.
I do hear that the footing in that ring is like that because they do like rodeo stuff in it. So
and I get it. I don't really want to be in that ring forever, so it'll be fine. But it's all good. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, horse show prep is always like such a great topic to talk about because like
doing it appropriately, doing it safely.
Yes.
I'm like super anti-drugs.
Yeah.
I really honestly, if I could get away with not using perfect prep and like not being fearful that like something would happen to me. I am an adult.
Yeah.
I'm getting older and I have a kid now. Like I don't want to die, but like as a kid, I think like when I was a junior, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll just like get on and I'll work it out myself.
100%. Yeah. That's how we all did it. I think back in the day, that's like how everything was. I mean, we just figured it out
And I would like to do that the same. And I'm one of those people that thinks like, okay, if I could get my horse to get used to the situation without any help from a perfect prep situation or whatever, and just a lunge, like I think it's good for their brains. I don't want them to have a bad experience, especially if he's so young.
Yeah.
So that's why I do the perfect prep. But for me, like prep is important because it gives you the horse, it gives you a rideable horse. It gives them a good experience. It gives me a good experience.
So much about, for me, I just feel like I just want to make sure it's all about the experience.
Yeah.
Like just have a good experience. And that's why I had, Hannah show him for so long and will continue to do that because like this horse is going to be with me for his whole life. So like if you need to get on him for the first year or so, whatever.
Yeah.
Like
I'll figure out how to ride him when he's broke.
Well, yeah. And I ride him at home, right? Like I ride him at home. You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. I prefer both of my horses at horse shows, to ride them at horse shows. They feel better. They're prepped. They feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure
there's no shenanigans like they can do at home.
No shenanigans. Like I just remember like when we went to Aiken, we went to Tip.
Oh my God.
Sunny was like
amazing.
It was like the most incredible thing. Like, and so I'm so excited to go back this year. And like, I'm just excited to show him in general because he's just fun to show. He's ready. We're going. It's happening.
He had a year off. He tipped.
He had a year off.
Yeah.
And now
she just was focusing on Ollie, which is good and very important.
Yes,
if you have a young one, you need to get them going too. Come on.
Look, it's hard when you have
more than one.
And look, that is a privilege. I understand.
Yeah.
We both work very hard. It's nothing is being handed to us. Like we both work very hard and to be able to afford that luxury but
time doesn't get any, you may like have more financial abilities.
Yeah.
But your time is still the same.
Well, time is money. Like that is one of the oldest sayings in the book, but literally that's one of the most true. Like if you're not paying for it, like you're paying for it in time.
Yeah. I have no money then. Yeah. I have no time.
I know. And so that's why like sometimes it's like the small things that you can take off of your plate. That's a whole nother conversation, but like the small things that you can do for yourself to take off your plate and pay someone to do is like such a fantastic thing.
Yes.
But I'm bummed I wasn't there to see Ivan.
I'm bummed I wasn't at WEC to see, but I cannot wait to see your video. It's going to be incredible.
It's going to be great. I'm very excited.
I saw a couple jumps already, that you videoed, and you guys, it's going to be incredible. She's good at what she does.
Well, thank you. If you ever get a chance to go to WEC, it truly is Disney World for horse people.
I heard it's like Las Vegas.
Either
like
one.
Horse Vegas.
Either one. It's just, it's just magical. It really is. And we got to go to HITS too. And it's beautiful there. I mean, it's like, it's so beautiful. It's like a more natural, like you
horse
feel
environment.
You feel a little bit more connected to your environment. Like, it's just two beautiful locations. And I'm just very thankful and I can't wait to go back.
Yeah. Next time I'm going.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode. And we are excited, as always, to bring the positivity. Again, guys, remember, we're trying to bring the community, the relatability. Yeah. We're all doing the same thing for the same reason. So just don't forget that. Just leave with that message today. So bye, guys.
Love y'all.
Tuning in to another episode of the Adult Amateurs Guidebook Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the discussion as always, and be sure to like and subscribe for more real and authentic conversations about the struggles and triumphs of balancing life and horses. Until next time, cheers to adulting and happy riding, friends.